there's more than one person wondering this on kind of a broad spectrum of people who don't know what regurgitation is or head bobbing is at all to kind of a more intensive what's the difference. So I'm going to try and answer this as well as I can. First of all, regurgitation is a courting behavior, but also a behavior that mama bird feeds baby bird. That's how they do it. And it's where they take their chewed food and they will spit it back up to feed another bird. Head bobbing, on the other hand, is just a playful behavior. Some birds will learn it after being hand-fed, and as they're getting older, sometimes they start to use this as a way to beg for food, beg for attention, and sometimes people will do it back to them, and this just repeats that behavior. Some birds will just do it because it's fun. The main way that I tell the difference between head bobbing and regurgitation, aside from context, specifically with Gandalf, he doesn't do head bobbing. Not very often. So spending a lot of time with the bird, you can kind of pick up on what they're doing. But if you want like a more clear way of telling, I actually listen and will smell for it. Regurgitation normally has a lot more wet sounds. It's really gross. Like, it has a lot more wet sounds. And this is because I know, because he sits on my shoulder sometimes and I'll start doing it and I have to move him. But it has a lot more wet sounds, but it also, if they manage to get anything up, it has this like really putrid kind of rotten like fruit smell. It just kind of like smells a little bit like bile. And because he was doing it constantly when we first got him, he had this kind of just smell around him a lot of times. But the problem is that if they're continuously doing this, not only is it just not a behavior you want to encourage, since it's linked to courting, but it can be really damaging for their esophagus. This is another reason that doing this behavior can be seen as a medical issue. Birds will do this sometimes if there's something going on with their throat or their like nasal passage. If you're interested in that, I would recommend looking into that specifically and doing research on it, because there are a lot of different ways that stuff can show up, and I don't want to give any broad statements and have any of that being misconstrued. So let me know if you have any other questions, though. I'll try and answer them.